To all the non-believers, 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 non-believers. I'm making non-believers say, oh.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome to another episode of NBA Talk Finals Edition. This is episode 115, and I'm giving my breakdown and my take on Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. And if you were watching it, and if you probably tuned in the second half, you probably wondered why you were even watching the second half. You were wondering why you were even watching this game. This is not even a series, and you just probably didn't even continue watching it. You were probably watching baseball last night. But I want to break down exactly how the Lakers got to that predicament and how they maintained their dominance throughout Game 1. Aside from the different major injuries that Miami suffered last night, between Jimmy Butler injuring his ankle, Bam Adebayo hurting his wrist, Goran Dragic tearing apart of his foot, it was just what went wrong for the Miami Heat last night. It started good in the first quarter. Miami came out aggressive. They came out straight in attack from the perimeter, and it got to the point where they were up 13, and then that's as far as they ever got. That was the closest thing to a big lead that they were going to have, because the Lakers just locked in right after that, getting offensive boards, attacking the paint, being physical on the defensive end, protecting the rim, and Anthony Davis being a man amongst boys. LeBron basically picking apart the Miami Heat defense. That they picked apart Miami zone with the straight bombs from the 3-point line, and it was just great quick adjustment by the Lakers. It got to the point where it was even, I believe in the second half, it was a 75-30 run that they went on, and it just looked like a complete mismatch. The Miami Heat looked like they didn't even belong in that game last night. But the mistakes that they made is what led to the Lakers dominating in the first place. And to me, number one, I think priority number one was they spent way too much time with Jimmy Butler guarding LeBron James. Jimmy Butler can only do as much as he can only do so much. I think Jay Crowder and Andre Iguodala should also take priority in guarding LeBron James, because he's gonna do what he wants to do, because he's gonna look for those mismatches. I said it in my prediction video yesterday that he was gonna look for to get that mismatch, but to be guarded by Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero, and that's exactly what happened. And it was just buckets right after that. It was just either buckets or he found an open man, because he would easily draw a double team. That's the IQ of LeBron James. Whenever he gets that mismatch, he's going to get something that he wants. It's either an open shooter or he's going to get an open rim. And Bam Adebayo, he has to be on Anthony Davis, but at the same time, Anthony Davis was just on a whole nother level because of the mistake the Miami Heat made by putting Jay Crowder on him. What are you doing putting Jay Crowder onto Anthony Davis? This is practically a 7-footer who could shoot from anywhere on the floor, and he's got handles. He could put the ball down and go to the rack, and he could shoot from the perimeter. What I don't understand. You think Jay Crowder, a guy who's way undersized to be guarding Anthony Davis, is going to be able to do a decent job on him? No. That obviously was mistake number one. And besides the fact that the Lakers shot 15 3-pointers last night, they shot 65% from the 3-point line last night, and I believe it was 65% in total. I don't have the stats right in front of me. And between LeBron, Anthony Davis, Rondo, KCP, Kyle Kuzma, you had different players knocking down 3-pointers. And it all started with the 2 3-pointers that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope made when they were down 13. That's what sparked the entire run. And the Lakers, they were just extremely, extremely physical. They were extremely physical. And I got no complaints about it there. Miami needs to the zone is not going to work when the Lakers are knocking down threes. And you saw it last night. Anytime they try to play that zone, they found a shooter. It was either Danny Green, Alex Caruso, or KCP, and they were just wide open. They were wide open. Anthony Davis putting up 34 points, 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. LeBron putting up almost a triple double with 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. It just looked like the Miami Heat ran into they ran into an alley and they got ambushed. The Lakers just gave them a beating, and it was just a nonstop beatdown coming into the second half. The I don't know what else to take away from this, but Miami needs to make some serious adjustments. You could see it in Jimmy Butler's face. He says he knows what he has to do, and I think from the jump, Jimmy Butler, I said, has to be aggressive. And again, they need to put Andre Iguodala more on LeBron. They need to prioritize the 3 defenders to be on LeBron. And Bam Adebayo, they're giving him too many assignments. They need to find a way to share the load. They need to try to put Myers Leonard into the game because Bam Adebayo has way too much responsibility. He's most likely his main assignment is going to be Anthony Davis in game 2. And then he's got to have to protect the rim. So you're going to have to try. You're basically telling him to stop AD and Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard was another one who was dominating the offensive boards. You saw the difference in size between Miami and the Lakers last night. The Lakers tower over the Miami Heat. And you're asking Bam Adebayo to do way too much. They need to bring in Myers Leonard and to be that physical guy to crash the boards because Bam Adebayo can only do so much. He can only do so much. And to me, you can't put that much responsibility on a guy who's only his 3rd year, and you're asking him to guard a superstar in Anthony Davis. And if you're the Lakers, you don't take your foot off the gas. You don't take your foot off the gas. You try to keep the momentum. You realize that this is gonna be a series. Don't think that Miami's just gonna fold after game 1, and that's just about it after that. The Miami Heat, like I said, if you listened to my breakdown video, I said make sure these 3 guys are the ones guarding LeBron James. You either have Jimmy Butler and Andre Iguodala, you switch between Jimmy Butler and Jay Crowder, or you have Jay Crowder and Andre Iguodala. One of those guys has to be on LeBron James at all times. You cannot allow him to get that mismatch and look for guys like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. He's going to look for it, and Jimmy Butler can only do so much. He can only do so much against LeBron. I know he's going to try his hardest to defend LeBron and try to bother him, but at the end of the day, you're looking at a mismatch where the Lakers tower over you. LeBron's literally looking right over you and finding his shooters. Andre Iguodala is the only defender that could do something against LeBron, and it's to an extent because Andre Iguodala, his defense is not the same like it was a few years ago. I didn't expect to see an outcome like we saw in game 1. I thought the game was going to be a lot closer, but maybe let's hope the Miami Heat make some adjustments, or this will be one of the biggest disappointments that I've seen because a lot of people are already calling this series to be over. I'm personally not saying that yet because I know the Miami Heat and their culture, they're going to come back and they're going to come back fighting. And it don't matter if they're banged up or healthy. They're going to try to come back and they're going to fight. They're going to fight hard. And the Lakers need to be ready. Miami Heat needs to find a better way to defend the Lakers other than that zone because that zone is not going to work the entire time. You think LeBron doesn't know that zone by now? You think Frank Vogel doesn't know how to counter that zone? Well, let's see if in another key is, are the Lakers going to keep shooting that well from deep? If the Lakers keep shooting well from deep like that, the series is over. But we have to see it to believe it. We have to see that to believe that. And I don't know. What did you guys think of game 1? What adjustments do you think the Miami Heat should make? I gave my takes. I think the Miami Heat need to put in Myers Leonard. They need somebody that's going to crash the boards to bother a guy like Dwight Howard somehow, some way, because Anthony Davis is going to do what he does. So Bam Adebayo is going to have his hands full on the offensive and defensive end. LeBron's going to be LeBron. he needs to be guarded by either Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, or Andre Iguodala, because there's no other defenders on that team that's going to be able to even remotely stay in front of LeBron James. So far, this looks like a complete mismatch, and if it keeps going like this, I don't know if this is even gonna make it to six games. I still have Lakers in 6, but I have no clue right now if this is the series we're gonna be having. I have no clue whatsoever. Anyway, let's see what happens in Game 2. Let's see what adjustments they make, and we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you like basketball content. This is your boy Jay Varsity, and I am out. Peace.
We got some non-believers out there.
Make believers out of non-believers. Make believers out the overseers. Make them bow down.